What you're looking at there is a electrical timer with a extension cord plugged into it, and that goes over to the coop to give a few extra hours of light for them for laying. But anyways, hey, we lost power down here at the barn, and well, there's three different boxes between the garage and here, and we've got to start somewhere. So okay, here we are out in the garage. We're at the box that connects the barn. Okay, we have a quick switch disconnect here and one fuse. There's power going in and power going out. There's only one section that is running through this fuse box, and that's the barn. Okay, so your power goes in through and whatnot and goes all the way underground, all the way down to the barn. This is the fuse that we're having the problem with that keeps breaking. So we know the problem is somewhere between this box and the box that's down in the barn. Yes, there's a box down in the barn also because there's feeds that break off in that. Okay, so we know there's no fuses breaking down there, so from that box on, we know there's no problems in there. It's got to be from the bottom of that box, which is where the power goes in, to the bottom of this box where the power comes out. Okay, we know it's somewhere in between, and yeah, we're going to be doing a little digging because I don't know exactly where the problem is. So what we got right here is a trench I started. That underground wire, like I said before, comes out of there, goes along this wall right here, down to about the corner, and then falls off down to the barn. Goes without saying that when you're doing something like this and you have a wire buried in the ground, well, make sure you're being careful with the shovel. In fact, after it's dug out, I like to switch over to a square shovel. Clean it out a little bit better, a little faster. Sort of like the difference between using a backhoe digging something out versus cleaning something out with a front end loader. So anyways, I'm going to pull this up and see if we can't find any cracks or tooth marks or some kind of damage. Well, just pulling it out, wiping it off, and going across it with your hands, I couldn't feel any visual or damage like that. So I'm gonna have to get down to my hands and knees and look for any cracks or any small areas. It doesn't take much to get water in through, especially that's an underground feed cable, so it is rated for the ground, but it has been in there since this house was built back in the late 70s, early 80s. So well. Alright, you can see it here. I started trenching it a little deeper. I kid you not, where you saw me videoing a little bit earlier, I basically pulled the wire up. I didn't have to, just barely cut the sod just a little bit and it came right up. Okay, I'm going to be taking that Maddox and I'm going to go down at least 5 or 6 inches anyways. I'd like to have it down that far. It is barely, maybe 2 inches at the most underneath that. Like I said, all I had to do was take a spade and just barely cut the sod, and I pulled that wire up from the, well, I'll show you from where. All the way up from there to here. That's 100 feet to right where the Maddox is. Actually, a little more than that. That's a 120 feet from where the Maddox is. And as you can see, yeah, Yardbird crew's out here. I had to get them out here They're doing a little digging for me. Well, I don't know how much digging they're doing, but they sure are finding some nice juicy worms. All right, as you can see, it's all tamped down, all filled in, all ready to go. We're gonna head into the garage and I'll put a new fuse in and make sure that we have power. All right, let's take this old fuse out. Yes, the power's off. Let's throw the new fuse in. I know what you're saying. That don't look like the old fuse. Well, that's because it isn't. This thing pops again this time for any other reason or whatnot. It's got a built-in button here. It's just like a circuit breaker in a switch built into the fuse. You can get these. They're quite a bit more expensive than a regular fuse. They run about $12 than a regular fuse that you can buy, you know, half dozen fuses for that much. So anyways, let's throw the switch. Didn't hear no pop or anything, so we got power. We'll head on down to the barn and make sure we got power down there. All right, we're back down in the barn. As you can see, the power works. Timer's working. I'm happy. Well, the hens are happy. So looks like we did a good job. Hey, wherever you are in your neck of the woods, be it morning, noon, or night, I hope you're having a great one. Take care now.